Earnings season, bro.
Hi everybody, Randy here from the Earnings Season podcast. Just giving you a quick heads up about this episode. It was initially a conversation between Dana and I that was supposed to happen on Twitter Spaces. Didn't work out for whatever reason. I think Twitter Spaces was just crashing all the time, so we did it on YouTube. And who knows, I might do that sort of format a lot more in the future if you guys like it. So we decided to put up now as an episode. It's a good conversation. It happened a week ago, and I think the stuff mentioned in there, a lot of them relevant for right now being the end of April 2021. So listen to it, enjoy it if you like. If you're a Grow Grad subscriber, I know you'd have heard this one already because you guys get early access to content like this. So bear with us, who knows, maybe repeating it might be good for you. If you're not a Grow Grad subscriber, you want to know what the hell that is, check out my class, the Grow Investment class, if you want to get into stocks, understanding some of what I do and my own methods of investing. So just a quick heads up for you. Enjoy the episode. It's a good one, and look out for more to come. Alright, so like, subscribe, comment, all that good YouTube stuff, or if you're listening to this, all that good podcast and stuff, leave us a review on Apple. If you're listening using Apple Podcasts, give us a thumbs up or whatever else anywhere else. But yeah, enjoy the episode, and yeah, talk to you soon.
Well, if I knew better that trip.
Yeah, it's a pandemic, we can get to it almost anything. I can get to it almost anything.
I'm not surprised to see this here first.
Probably got the notice. All right, now we can just jump right back into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big up Phil.
Big up Phil every time. Surprised I'm not seeing mail.
Right, just a few seconds. So I was thinking about what we were talking about just now. Phil was talking to me earlier about
Charisma.
Phil was talking about Charisma. He's talking about JP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, JP's an interesting one.
Yeah,
well, especially with this.
I keep saying that before though, but you know.
Yeah, right. That I mean, everything interesting. So you know that already.
Mm-hmm. Oh, facts.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting don't mean anything necessarily, you know. Favorite finance?
People don't take it that way, you know. Exactly. I was going to say.
What do you mean?
You know, the interesting thing is a very different between is it actually interesting and comment interesting, because that thing is just a point of interest.
That's true.
Like, it's interesting because it's another dot or another, just something confirmed from something you had in your mind before, or something new to look forward to. But this don't mean you're going to buy the company. It doesn't mean you're going to make any action on the company. No.
That's correct. And then for me, just because of because the term gets used so much,
mm-hmm.
It's like an inside joke now, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually stay away from using it because I'm not sharing anything by saying it. Yeah?
That's true.
It's like a conversation, and I'm just adding.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't really help anything, but there you go.
Indeed. Well, I mean, you can go back to Carb Cement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're nice. I was saying how they're looking these days. They're looking like
they're ready to start giving the owners something more than just actually giving the owners something, not just one set of owners, right?
Right, that's true. And then of course you get the proceeding even before you get anything. It would have to be something through dividends, and you get the preceding cap gains already, right? Because the reason I'm saying that without looking over the last year to date. As if we keep this conversation today or tonight, in the realm of year to date. Year to date, they what are they year to date?
$8 up 17.
Up what? Say that again?
Up over $10. I'm gonna check the actual what reading matters. So yeah, 16% year to date.
Word.
It's a good year some places.
16 and a half, yeah. I mean, that's like what, 10 years worth of dividends?
That's funny. So for a company that hasn't paid dividends in over 10 years, we got 10 years of dividends from them since the year started.
Yeah, but that's that heavy money play, right? Because for that to matter, you have to have heavy money, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Or be comparing
that's the 10 years of dividends for anybody. There's no barrier, there's no money barrier to that making sense for you. Get 10 years of dividend, no matter how much money you put in from it.
That is true.
4 months, 3 months plus.
That's true. That's true. I like them. I think they're looking nice.
And it's one of those, the giants.
Yeah, the giants. Yeah.
Big companies. So people, certain level of money will like to buy in. Certain level of money will go into that and be safe with it. They won't have the boys are junior market companies. They have that crowd running away from it. So always good when those type of companies doing something. That's true.
That's true. And it's especially good because of what it means for it's a giant. In fact, we can talk more about the giants since that's the last episode we put out. We spoke about the giants, the rise of the giants. It's a giant, like an NCD giant, meaning it's in a lot of pensions. It's in a lot of unit trusts.
And it's going to make the news with all the market rate, because it will affect the market way more than a lot of other companies. So you have the market news around that. All carriers moving, and the market gets a good effect from that.
That's true.
In the right way, you hear, the market moved by X% up or down, whatever, based on carriers.
That is 100% true, and it's you'll see. Well, I mean, we have some. I don't want to say derivatives, but we do kind of, right? Because like what percentage of Select F is Carib Cement? Not F, M.
M.
Yeah. What percentage of Select M is Carib Cement?
Carib Cement.
I have that stored somewhere now. I think that the top
one.
Did
we check something like that last time?
We checked something like that a couple of times.
Very recently.
Yeah. GK is the big dog there, but it's not that big dog in the same way NCB. It's a big dog everywhere else. So it's.
All right, that was the reason we're checking it. It was the M at the NCB to F.
Yeah, so it's a hell of a thing when you rise. The funny thing about it is, if you follow the cement story, it looks like Jamaica's cement industry is ramping up while Trinidad is ramping down,
but that's good with the level, the way the ownership structure of Carib Cement is. Certain things that expect to happen that will go in favor of Carib Cement. Yeah, especially exports.
Yeah, true.
And it's not that the Trinidad market will necessarily. Well, certain aspects of the market will necessarily just disappear, because we do import too. Carib Cement does imports for finished product and them things. So they import finished product, but not so heavily. But that's not happening right now, is it? But they're importing inputs to put into the things they use that make it clinker. So if Trinidad has a good enough operation on there, then they can just work out that on scale. And as we keep hearing, construction booming for all over again.
Where? In Trinidad or here?
Jamaica.
Jamaica's boom never stopped.
Yeah, well, it's news again.
That's true.
It's now a new point of commenting, and it's actually a reason. It's funny because like in 2018, 2019, probably, we were talking about how the construction boom isn't going to be the place where, well, at that time, wasn't going to be the place where you get new Carib Cement revenue from, because the boom was booming. So it's not that but in every report they saw, Carib Cement will do better. Well, not Carib Cement reports, but like analyst reports and news articles, people were just commenting on the construction boom as a boy, Carib Cement can't lose next quarter because construction boom. There's always like a one-off comment as to why Carib Cement will be doing better. But I think the things that are making it doing better, they'll make it do better now, are the things that are being done, that are being rolled out now. First they had the thing there, the kiln, the lease agreement, and that was annulled, and they worked with a new structure. They actually own it now, and they're doing the payments for it. They finally coming out of the book certain ways. They see the paid on a loan basically. They restructured some of it into Jamaica, and so basically the things that would actually basically was costs. They rationalize the costs and make them more effective for the bottom line, and we're seeing them now being done more and more. And that kind of thing with the dividends we keep mentioning. So if they say no dividends at a certain point, saying the shareholders no dividends just kind of seem nonsensical, to be honest.
Yeah. The funny thing is, the thing that I really like about it, exciting, is that shift in what's happening. It's pretty much, I talk about it like it's a shift between Trinidad and Jamaica, because in many ways it is the same owner. So the owner is revamping it. I think we spoke about it on the last episode. I don't know if that's something that we haven't put out yet, but I see it as a reorganization of a multinational, right?
It's funny to me because it mirrors the Jamaica Brothers conversation.
Yo, it's like we're in the same room. I mean, all right. When you say mirrors it, say what way, and I'll tell you the point that I had. Go ahead.
Oh, because we're theorizing and rambling. We're talking about how Jamaica Brothers has operations set up in US. So if there was a shift in the market, then based on the import laws and whatever tariffs and all that, they can just restructure where they actually where home base is, do the manufacturing there, and then send it back home.
Did we say that on the episode?
Yeah, we know what said. We said it could be a thing. We're not saying it is a thing.
I don't remember.
Oh, really?
I don't remember.
I didn't listen to the finished product. Sorry about that. But we did mention it during the talk. Somebody can comment and tell us if we didn't.
I don't remember if I cut it out or if I said it.
No.
I'm not sure. It don't really matter. The point is that.
Right?
Yeah.
The point is it's a sort of it's the same type of shift, because Kerry Cement is owned by a Trinidad person who is owned by the Mexicans, but because of outside operations and my market is shifting, then I can just easily switch around how I get my finished product to the market. They can just make Kerry Cement do the manufacturing. I kind of alluding to that earlier about Trinidad sending clean corn, blah blah blah. But yeah, they can just get Kerry Cement to just ship them the thing that if it works out cheaper for them than the at-home production.
So here's one of the things that made me, well, another thing that made me think of the JBG situation is that there's rumors in Trinidad. I don't know if it's rumors or if it's a specific thing. I should find the exact article, but pretty much that they're going to be government tariffs changing in Trinidad around imported cement. And generally, tariffs are done to protect most times a local industry, right? So like in Jamaica, we have really high tariffs on imported chicken because everywhere else in the world, chicken is kind of cheap. Yeah. So in America, and linking the points there, in America, you can send 4 million units of chicken. I don't know what that is, but yeah, we can send that's like a rounding error for a company, right? But it might be like 2 or 3 months worth of
production in Jamaica,
yeah, and so you have a tariff. You implement a tariff then to keep the big guys out and to kind of protect the local market. Now, if you know that tariffs are going to shift, it is not a very good time to be a manufacturer of the product that the tariff is going to shift on, right? In simple language, which means if the tax thing that is protecting you by keeping making it too expensive for everybody who's not in the market already, if that tax drop, then your money might be in trouble, because then people can ship in things like whatever else, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you own both things, if you own the big guys outside the country and the small guy in the country, and this country is about to have it, then it's a great time to shift away manufacturing, because you're gonna lose anyway. So you very quickly need to become, if everybody's gonna be importing, then you need to become an importing company, or in FMCG world, fast moving consumer group, or like you become a carriers call themselves the same thing, a market and a distributor, a market and distribution company. So think about that. Think about the fact that, let me tie it together if everybody thought we were on a weird tangent. Think about the fact that the cement company hasn't paid dividends in maybe 12 or 15 years, Kerry Cement. And it's because in certain ways the market was not very conducive to them being what they are, right? They're manufacturer, but the market was kind of rough on them. Now things are changing. Now we have the boom happening. Things are doing well. They have paid off that Kiln 5 thing, so they've paid Trinidad for it. Trinidad's market looks like the kind of market, if I'm reading this right.
Is a court ruling, right, about the protectionist tariffs that the guy was saying is not allowed. I think somebody in their market was a court ruling on it because they went to court about something because there's some tariff there that the person was not a person like a company or whatever, and they were saying that they don't believe it's constitutional or something like that, and they got a ruling to get rid of it or something like that. But there's something there. I need to find it back.
Something about Rock Hard Cement.
Yes, I believe that's the name.
That's their competitor in Trinidad. Yeah, I think they said they're going out of business. Let me.
Unless it's wrong. It's wrong article reference in there. Or wrong.
No, or maybe not. Who knows? Our Rock Hard Cement in February 20. By the way, everybody watching this, you get to see what happens behind the scenes of our earnings season episode. So sometimes we chop out the research, sometimes we don't. Maybe today we won't. Who knows? In fact, maybe I could share it with everybody. Let me see if that's something that I can. It's something I can do, but that's something that I want to do. That'd be scary. All right, I'll share it just for a little bit. I hope people can see this.
Actually, I think
was this the article? So Rock Hard Cement is Trinidad Cement Limited's competitor, I believe.
But I'll put the article separately, but I don't think that's the article. But yes.
Okay, so I had it completely flipped because there's going to be, well, maybe I don't actually. This is how you do it. Rock Hard Cement, I believe, is well, local importer. Let me triangulate it all out. Local importer in Trinidad, right? There's going to be a 50% hike in import duties. Now that would sound bad at the surface of it, right? Because if they're putting in more taxes, then it's not good for anybody. But they don't make cement at all.
Full importer.
Full importer, exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. No, Trinidad Cement Limited, however, can make there and can also import and distribute, and they can also raise prices along with everybody and just shut down manufacturing if manufacturing not making sense with how the general economy there is going, right? Yeah. So if the general economy isn't necessarily doing well and not supporting a cement company, why not switch things around? Start treating Trinidad like how we used to treat Jamaica.
It's easy to switch because the management is not really. It's not management. The total ownership is out of Mexico. So
exactly what we consider the managers in Jamaica and in Trinidad, they consider country managers in the office.
Yeah.
So it's a situation I think where it made more sense now to utilize the assets in Jamaica where it makes a lot more money for you. And you haven't paid a dividend in a long time. I think we spoke about that in the last episode, about how the fact that Mexico also hasn't paid a dividend in a while. Cemex hasn't paid their shareholders a dividend in a while. Pre-Corona too, but Corona only made it kind of worse, right? So these guys definitely need some cash. Now, Carib Cement in Jamaica can generate a lot of cash very quickly. And Trinidad Cement Limited can also make a lot of profit if they have to take a price increase. So why not shut down your manufacturing or downsize your manufacturing a little, push Jamaica heavily. Jamaica then goes well. Jamaica can pay a great dividend, which Trinidad Cement Limited eats off, right? And Cemex eats off, and Cemex needs that cash to pay their own dividend in US. US doesn't pay their dividend, I think so, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So it works well. I say all that to say that I think Carib Cement go and pay a dividend, and when they do pay that dividend, I suspect the market out here will be wonderfully receptive to it.
The way I see it, just practically, the way I usually refer to it as a bleed, just another way for the owners to take money out of the company outside of a thing, the record again, outside of, say, outside of a dividend. So basically, it's a one-way thing for certain owners to get money out of the company. So like I think there, the kiln was one. They own something, and it was integral for the use for things, Carib Cement's operation. So they needed to. So basically, they paid a lease to the owners every year. It was a big complaint or whatever. End of the day, what happened was that they sold it to them, but then they financed the purchase of it. So now, at the end of the day, while Carib Cement does own the kiln, the people that their owners are paid a certain amount of money. Well, basically paying back a loan to them, for the owners lend them money to buy the kiln from them. So now, instead of paying the management fee or the lease, now he just pay my thing there. He just pay interest payments. And what's happening now, that's just going down because they've been attacking that debt. Kind of slow for some people. Like there are a lot of rumblings in the market from certain parties about it. I will be one of them. Well, I've been complaining about that thing, that the FX swing on the interest payments, just from that thing coming onto the books.
Oh, because it's denominated.
So it just knocks. So again, you see where they did some restructuring more once about with they did brought the Jamaican dollar payments, but I wasn't. Some people were saying, "Boy, I need to pay it off," but to be honest, how does it benefit? It benefits them more if it's in US dollars. So they're going to keep it away for as long as they're comfortable. It's not a us thing at that point. But they've done some restructuring, and the more you look at it, it's the more that a dividend seems more inside.
Yeah, and of course, the market will react to that.
Of course,
just because of the kind of company that Carib Cement is.
Does one man I get money, and then no, now you tell me to me get peace too. Come on.
Yep. And it's a way for Trinidad Cement to earn without having to worry about selling things, right? I mean, they're the biggest owner, so is that one time. And it's so funny to me how they keep doing things like that. They keep pushing people around their group, right? Which is what you do. I mean, I think I could have it wrong, but I think the current head of Carib Cement was taken from Trinidad. Yeah, or like they switched or something like that. So, I mean, why not? I love that one. That's Carib Cement for me. You tell me one now, since we've tangented out Carib Cement completely. You have any one that you like?
I generally don't like start one I like because I've been beating out of the same horses.
I mean, if they're working, why not, right?
Oh, definitely. You come to the same talking point, right? That's a problem for me.
Right? Yeah. And look what happens if you mention, don't call any stock a horse, because you end up like Barita. Which Barita is a great one.
It's a great dark horse. It's looking less and less dark based on the amount of people that are behind it now. So
the curve reached it a long time, man. So if once a curve is there.
I mean, you kind of brought the curve there, so.
And the curve the funny thing is the curve isn't really. The curve isn't really there. When I hear the questions that I hear about, when I hear the questions that I hear about, like the movement and whatever, I know that the curve isn't really here. It's still just the thinking about it's still just the thinking about the I guess the news versus what it actually means, what they're actually doing, right? Like people saying that the bank move, there's no. If you even had the base of the understanding, you should have been waiting for the bank news for the last 2 years. I mean, yeah, and then you should have a surprise about why that line was added to the board. Even though, again, let me just state, since we're alive, I don't know the guys, I don't know anybody in the company, I don't have any straight information from them about it. This is all just external speculation from people who don't know.
Using bad words there, and we don't use that word in investment space.
Oh, you mean?
We don't say we're speculating. We're not.
Oh, yeah. Well, I say I'm speculating because I know what things get pulled when you name them as they are. We're speculating, we're just not doing it lightly, we're doing it sensibly. While you look up yours, let me just find the. So we have this director.
I just keep feeling. I just get choose one because very often the more I look at it, the more I live. We talk about these all the time anyway. So
yeah, people haven't heard from us in
I'll
so
never
long.
say that, but I'll never say anything that's not new. So I'll never pick a company that's not new to talk about. So Express Catering, it was a long time favorite of mine. But
ECL
it was one of my first IPOs. I came into the market sometime, and then Express Catering and SOS were listing. And funny enough, I went heavier in SOS, but somehow I made it wasn't one time from the IPO. Over the year, I made more money from Express, and I made a killing that year. First year, so I had a lot of good mistakes and bad mistakes. But Express Catering, yeah, one of the Corona recovery companies. I hear a couple of people talking about it, ready to buy back in, and not much. But I don't think there's much to say beyond. But it's funny. I think we spoke about it recently, didn't we? Or that don't release it.
I don't know. I don't remember. Well, they hear it again because it's been so long anyway.
Yeah, true.
And things are changed. Express is so, at least in my view, so close to the wire in that, like, things can change by the day with Express these days.
These days, actually, because what happened now, we already speak about the business model. Just in an airport, and people just pass through and buy food.
Pretty much.
And you know what's happening right now? They have the fix up inside the airport. Then is that finished? Or is that even started? They're going to do some restructuring of the line of space inside the airport, and they say end of the day it'll basically be better for their business because of the amount of traffic that will be diverting through that area. I mean, actually go check the thing to make sure I know which man talk. But yes.
I'll show it on screen. But
yeah, these days you're saying we see a lot more being changed in terms of how Corona is being treated by people, by governments. So, and we see vaccination drive in Jamaica itself. Big up Jamaica and what we did just this week, we do vaccination effort. And with more vaccination in the world, with the way we're changing towards a quote unquote new normal, then we're likely to see more flights happening sooner than later. More flights have been happening even. So tourism is back in some aspects. So that's more money to think there.
There is more money to Express. Express is linked to the amount of people that pass through the airport, pretty much, right?
Yep.
The Mobile Airport, and that's the airport in Jamaica that has the most traffic, and it is impacted most by tourism. Now, something funny about that, the tourism point. Well, it's a point from Twitter. I don't remember who said it, but you see that chart going around, everybody showing how Americans are and how every country, all the big countries that have COVID vaccines have shared some, except for America and England. Yeah. Well, I actually saw that and I was fine with it. Meaning, like I don't care if America.
Yeah, the big country versus small country thing about how they're basically taking all the vaccines themselves.
As in America literally has given away no vaccines.
Oh yeah, but that was expected from before, especially with how the vaccinations effort was set up by the past president. What he did in terms of we give you some money and it's ours.
It's paid for by U.S. taxpayers' money. Yeah. The reason I never had an issue with it is this, right? The truth is, like, if you look on the Jamaican economy, one of the best things that America does for us is sending people through our airports, is sending tourists. So I want them to get vaccinated. I want them to be vaccinated fully, and because Americans are, the second you get vaccinated, you don't give a damn.
And they were trying not to give a damn from before, so imagine now.
Yeah, I mean, so it takes literally nothing to, like, you want Americans to feel like, okay, COVID is over, because we need them to go around the world and spend their money.
The thing is, as much as I can complain with what they're doing, there's no two ways around it. It's either we don't get tourism and vex, or we get tourism and vex. So,
Yeah, if you're going off Twitter, then I mean, you just have X no matter what, right?
Well, may I say I buried that adding in the chat.
What? Are they paying for that?
I don't know. That's a Barita guy saying Barita making money work for you. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a brave thing to do. A brave thing to do in the chat. Let me think. Let me not say it the wrong way. This live thing is very touchy. You know, it's so much easier on Twitter. Yeah,
oh,
so much easier to do. The Twitter space thing annoyed me that it wouldn't work. I don't get why.
Bro, I don't know. Oh, like it chose overnight, right?
Right. To pop right down. Well, I don't mind. So you go. And I know it's not the phone. Even though I never wanted to, I said I'm gonna try the iPhone. So brand new iPhone is working fine. Wi-Fi is fine. On the charger. The battery not anywhere near low. Battery's at 90 something. I think it's maybe them up to the street. But hey, people still getting this. So
yeah, anybody was in the chat from St. Thomas.
Your big up popcorn. You mentioned the vaccines too, and I think I like. Yeah, I'm with you in that. I like how everybody has jumped on it. At least the early ones. So let me say 75,000 done in 3 days. Around that number, or 50,000.
Yeah, right, man. 3 days, 75,000. Unless me can't read or something, but that's not. The maximum they do, guys. So yeah, you have to see it.
Yeah. Did you get yours by the way?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Get my 5G.
Yeah. Maybe that's why the Twitter space wasn't working.
Probably, you know, Twitter needs update. So just send that thing there. Send a message to Jack.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I spoke about people. I have this idea that so the second you get vaccinated, you're done with I'm done with take off the mask. I don't care. Like
what mask?
Right? Mask off, but I feel like people. You want to be responsible, you know, you want to still do it. You know, everybody say you're not fully, let me be responsible and say you're not fully vaccinated until after you get the second dose, 2 weeks after the second dose, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, I believe I am not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, do not listen to me if I'm saying the wrong thing. Always check with the people who know better when it comes to the proven people, have them prove themselves, right? Having said all of that, you are vaccinated the second you take the first shot. The second one just boosts it and make you even more vaccinated, right? So like the levels of defense in your body after the first shot is, assuming you got the mRNA one, AstraZeneca or anything like that, is 80% effectiveness after a few days of the first shot.
Mm-hmm.
The Johnson & Johnson one shot is also, I believe, 80% effective. So I mean, it's kind of like I just got the Johnson & Johnson shot, right? I hate being inside right now. I'm done with it completely. Done.
The issue though is you walk out with it. Who's outside? So we're not ready yet.
Yo,
that's probably
here's the funny thing, right? So people saying, like, I heard people talking about them not taking the vaccine, them don't know, blah blah blah. One of the beautiful things I think about the vaccine is that it re-enables selfishness. Meaning, if you don't think the vaccine, okay.
But the stakes are higher, guys. You might just have to learn. Oh, that's that. I don't know. Yeah,
you see, before when it was I need you to wear a mask, is that you not wearing a mask might screw me up. But you not taking a vaccine
might screw you up. Yeah.
Guess who? Okay. Cool. Cool. Good luck.
If you no longer meeting, you know, it's, boy, you think for yourself, bro.
Yeah, man. If a parent say you don't say I'm not at the vaccine, I say really? You know, I don't know if I have COVID right now, but I know I'm vaccinated.
Yep.
So good luck to you. Yeah, it enables people. It fixes its own problem. But going back to ECL, yeah, it's a great company as soon as tourism
picks up. It's a much better company as soon as COVID picks up.
Yeah.
And a string of other companies are similarly tied, but I think this is the most closely linked to a turnaround because they have less costs in the way of that. Like CPJ, I hotel CPJ services and blah 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 blah.
CPJ what? That's a good next one because I was thinking since we can link from that one.
Yeah, for CPJ, like CPJ, it's a different ball game in terms. they get a boost as soon as COVID happened, as soon as the things are lifting up, but they're more concentrated. So everybody goes through that airport. Not everybody, but you get what I'm saying. Everybody goes through that airport. If you're going outside, they're going through that airport. CPJ, now you have to go to a CPJ hotel, you have to buy CPJ products. All those things have come into play for you to actually. But so CPJ's blueprint is pretty big down that side. So it's pretty hard to not hit a CPJ hotel.
Yeah, in fact, I don't think you can come here as a tourist and consume any food and miss them. Yeah, you don't have to consume food. You can use the bathroom. Yeah, because I believe they have toiletries too, right? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but of course, conversely, them get a big lick. I mean, there's no minimizing that. A big lick. 70% of them, I think, money just fly away. Rough indeed. Yet the share price has been flying over the past few days.
Why?
I don't know. Let me.
Somebody believe.
Well, you know it go right. It's specifically also there's this specific day.
But enough was live. How much was it?
So 8.6 million units traded on February 23rd at $3.50. Yeah, big up my money, JA, by the way, for providing this data for us.
Well, why am I on JC side to do this myself?
Self-love is a theme for 2021, and that sounds weird to say, but after 2020,
well, it's a theme forever, you know. Yeah, let that one go.
Yep. So CPJ started the year ended last year at $2.58, and as of today, we're recording this. What day is today? The 14th of April, 2021. So CPJ ended 2020 at, let me get the exact number, at $2.58. All right, $2.58, and it closed today at $3.70.
But last year was a real bargain year, you know. Like if to work out some way somehow that going through all the pandemic and all the problems that came in for people's pockets generally, if you somehow find out, if you just end up like, boy, I have this money and I don't need to spend it. You know? Boy, the market was a good place to spend that money, you know, because almost everything was a deal.
CPJ, the company, we didn't mention the problems that they're going through, but they have had some big hits. They have had some problems before Corona.
Yep.
We mentioned it on previous episodes. The beauty of what we do is so good is that even if we miss a couple of episodes, we could be missing for months. All it means that stuff we spoke about before is happening now, which is what's happening now. Yeah. So we spoke about CPJ and their banking covenants being broken. You know, they're having debt. They hit $100 million. They take $100 million hit more than once. Leadership changes, blah blah blah. And then COVID hit, and tourism having a huge fallout, and CPJ is almost like that's 70% of their money, I believe. And so you can see the numbers looking terrible with them. And yet, just to bolster Danai's point, yet even with all of that, they're up. What's that percentage?
Everything except dead people are is
43% increase since the start of the year. The overall market fell by about 12% last year. You know?
Yep, and here we are.
If you bought CPJ December 31st, you would be up 43%. $1 million you'd have won.
If you lost the thing there, if you lost the money to the level of the market last year, the more than make it back on just CPJ, and that's crazy.
That is crazy. And CPJ, I think I like it a lot in the near term.
That's the opportunity, yeah.
In the near term, opportunity is great. It's there. Anytime you see a company going through trouble, there's also a company that's having the ability.
It's just ready.
Yeah. Wherever there's crisis, there's opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I said before, you said it many times, it's really hard to kill a listed company.
Very hard. Actually.
So many ways to live, right?
Yeah. And one man's
usually the ones that go down without a fight. That's why they die. Sorry.
That's true. Any company that's truly fighting, at least a company that truly fights, more often than not survives in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Just looking at the CPJ numbers as at the end of December, negative. I mean, they report in US dollars?
Yeah.
Boy. 850,000, 371 US
So
dollars.
yeah, that's the way I asked now. That this can't be Jamaican. That things can't be that bad, right?
But it can. This is the reality of the company bleeding from before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no amount of what did they have, the box deal?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I couldn't help them.
So to be the savior, we only save in some aspects.
Right.
Boy, this reuse profit better than a write-off in the next quarter. Find a way to do it. But yeah, man, rough.
Yep. They do have an AGM coming up though.
Mm-hmm.
Or did they? It happened already? That's strange. Do they have another one? Am I seeing this wrong? But it is old news. I know they have an important date coming up. I think it's if again, big up Phil if I have this one right, and if I have it wrong, it's my fault. I think it's the date that their covenant has to be tested again, the banking covenant.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Yeah. I had that somewhere now, so yes, you're probably right.
Probably that. All right. Well, let's see what happens for the people who buy it. But whoever's bought it already has gotten a great.
Oh yeah.
Again, coming from the end of December, I should say, till now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In fact, whoever bought this mass of units on February 23rd,
they have quite expectations. Oh, definitely.
They're already in profit. Yeah, and it's for a dead company. Nice.
Find somebody to do that.
Let me
clarify.
No, I don't know. What did you say? You
I said, mind somebody running that. Find a dead company.
Oh, dead.
Which is funny because everything we're saying is basically saying it is not. It's quite hard to kill. Especially with certain players around it, but someone does hard for the there. Some are very good at coming back to life.
Yeah, speaking of which, big up Smithy again, Smithy Royal, Matthew Smith Barrett, who's saying that the 5G doesn't work if you don't get vaccinated, and that's why the spaces don't work. Smithy Royal, I have been vaccinated. I've gotten one of my 2 doses. I'll be fully 5G when I get the second dose, and hang on. I don't know why the Twitter spaces don't work. Maybe Twitter hasn't been vaccinated. They should have joined the line. Or maybe Twitter got spray. Are you seeing what? First of all,
I'm reading the chat. Wow.
Big up. I don't remember the guy's name, but Craig, I think that's his name. Craig, who did that video.
Oh yeah, Craig. Big up, Garden Bridge. Yeah. Craig, man. Big up, Craig.
Craig Poe.
I know that's funny because I said that channel.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
It's
that way.
What do you mean? No,
I said big up.
Oh yeah, because of the foolishness.
Yeah, the issue. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Sprite. One of those, but yeah, continue. Basically.
Yeah, I don't even care about Sprite, but I mean, big up to Craig for doing the video because I know that must be harsh. But
imagine,
yeah,
that's not something just you don't even get up and tell your father that, you don't get up and tell your brother that, and get up and tell the internet, brother. I'm stronger than me still. It's not like.
Yeah. But I sent it to all of my male relatives.
Especially for the greater good.
Yeah, especially the people who watching now. I said specifically for them, for like, again, you don't want to take the vaccine. That's your business.
Well, it's great business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's serious things, like,
Yeah, but what I think the more important things though than well, you know this from our messages privately, where one of the videos that really hit me from Gordon's thread wasn't the
Was when he was actually sick with the ventilator on him, brother.
And well, like I made the point about like the point of investing and why it makes sense, right? That he had a machine there helping him to breathe at his house, which you're Jamaican, you know what's happened in Jamaica over the last few months with regard to the hospitals and COVID. So it's a blessing to be able to have something like that at your house to help yourself, right?
I think Gordon said it the way he said it. Thank God, he had the means basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And because most people don't. Man.
Exactly, and that's what I said. And Craig also said that himself, so that's one of the good things. But I look at it and I'm thinking, yo, that's another reason why investing makes sense.
Imagine, like, that's what I was saying. Imagine that, because like most Jamaicans can't afford it. Imagine being in a situation where you can't afford it. Like, that was, I don't know.
Yeah. Imagine if
you could have called Mayberry and say, yo, give me a margin on my money and whatever. Or I could have sell some shares and work out for you.
Exactly. You're in a rush. You're in the hospital. And they say, yo, them can't help them. Why help you? Them can't help you. Maybe you just have to buy the oxygen yourself. The ability to sell, I don't know, sell your ROC shares or your Pulse shares.
I promise you, if that's the difference, because you look at things and say, boy, you know, like I always say to yourself, you don't understand this. You never want to be able to, you don't want to be in a situation where you have to sell your shares before, until you're ready to sell them. So your profit is 3 months away. It's probably not out of it now. You never want to be forced to sell that. But just think about the situation, his situation, if he could, like, he did, well, not necessarily shares or whatever, but he had a situation. Say if you're in a situation now, you can sell the shares.
Yeah.
So it's going to be their life versus, boy, I own this company. And as always, not married to the company, not in sickness and in health.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely not. The second sickness reach me gone.
Yep, trust me.
Yeah, man.
So MTV, I love you, but big up.
Yeah, I don't even love you. I'm just out.
You can't enjoy the money without.
Yeah, man.
You're living for it. So yeah. You're not living for the money, living for you, right?
Exactly, and that's the point of it. That we should always remember. The point isn't just to make the money and look at it. The money is to be used to do stuff. You need it. The money is necessary. Yeah. But you did say that we usually talk about new things. Well, we don't usually have many new things because the 90 things at the company we touch a lot.
Oh,
we do have something new, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, we do have FESCO.
New but not so new. Back again.
Well, they never really reached there, but they're the IPO. Well, they did their basis of allotment. They did the IPO process, and now the basis of allotment is out. And it's so funny. I hear some people say it high, some people say it low. Big up Phil again. Phil was mentioning. Some people are saying, "Boy, it's such a low. It's such a low allocation because they get what you minimum buy 1,000 units, and then 48% of that, right?"
And that's crazy to me. Like, think about the fact that I was just talking about SOS and Express Catering, and that's 3-4 years ago. And think about the allotments that those got. Heavily oversubscribed companies. It wasn't nowhere near no thousands. Think that SOS gave up to 200 or something thousand shares or something like that. So versus this, you only get what? Couple $1,000 worth of shares?
No, well, it depends on what you put in. 43% of what if you put $1 million, you're getting 430,000 plus. What's that?
Hold on. Fine.
So the general public pool, I'm talking specifically, general public pool got 43% of whatever else, whatever you applied for above the minimum amount. The minimum amount is 1,000 shares, so that's 800 Jamaican. So 43%, almost 44% is actually a big.
Of the excess, it's quite heavy on that side.
Yeah. But it just doesn't seem that way. I think we just get primed to complain about it.
Yeah,
because of the 1,000. Yeah, 43% is actually big. If you had used, well, it's big regardless. When compared to the previous.
No matter end of the day, you get 40 something. You guaranteed 40% of their money.
Exactly.
Which is way more than, yeah.
Way more than, but it seems small because of the 1,000. And
1,000.
yeah. The interesting thing for me here is this, that the broker reserve pool had 58.8 million shares that weren't applied for. That is strange to me.
The broker went below, which is not common at all, actually. And you take about it can and go.
Exactly, right? Very, very interesting to me. And this is a broker reserve pool. So then that something like that, you'd want to go and look at the who was in this pool. Although you couldn't know, is it that they took less? Because pretty much them leaving these 58 million shares fed.
Fed the big thing of everybody else got.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the first of altruism.
Why give such a huge? Is never altruistic. Why give such a huge piece to the public? What was it? I seen a couple of dots there, but I'd have to talk to you off here about the idea that we are the idea that I have. But I'm being very careful because we're live. But it's a very interesting move, and I'm happy that they did it, of course, because for the people who apply, they'll mean that they'll get a lot of shares. And they'll get something, and I suspect there'll still be a nice push on the market. I noticed that they're still listed. Well, they haven't listed yet, so they're not really required to tell us how the quarter ended until next year.
Yes.
Next year, 2022.
That's going to be a while for some.
Yeah. But I mean, again, they don't have to. They could just choose to tell us if they want, right? Yeah, so who knows?
Yeah, they gave up. Wow. Think about the fact that what they gave up was about half the general public pool itself.
Exactly. They increased the general public pool heavily. Maybe there's somebody in the general public pool that they definitely want to get. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I'll take 43% of whatever it is.
You sure?
Or work out how much you're giving me, and whatever that works out to for everybody else, we'll do it. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? There's so many stories I'm sure that could be in there. What do you think will happen with the list?
With who?
What do you think is going to happen with the list?
Oh, list nice. It's just a run.
Crazily, right?
I think it's going to be the usual. One trade for you're gonna try to get a one trade in first day, maybe not. And then for the second day the same thing. Break us all the way up. Reach a point, dip again, people buy back in and push it back up, and then vibes until next report.
So day one, $1.04 is a 30% trip. Yeah, I don't think he'll trade at all, unless JC changed something again about what they're doing. I don't think he'll trade at all. I think he'll do the usual 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, right? Who knows how far that can go?
Yeah, you can go quite a ways.
Yeah. Let me just estimate it. If we were 30%,
low volume already was there. Wow.
30% over 3 days carries us to 1.75.
Yeah,
1.76 really. IPO people will be up 120%. That's if that happens, right? I think a lot is dependent on what's happening in this quarter too. And also, I don't hear nobody talk about the possible rights issue. Is it possible? Oh, let me be very careful. They stated that they intended in their projections to take, I think, a $200 million loan.
Oh, the thing there, the cornerstone thing.
Yeah, in their projections.
In their projections, they predict that they'll be taking some money as a loan. Cornerstone.
Yeah, 200 mil.
And they're already tied there.
Well, usually people don't name who they're taking the loan from.
Oh, definitely.
But considering that they share board members, no surprise, right? Full circle, we come right back around to Barita. So if they're saying they're going to take a loan, assuming that happens, a $200 million loan, you know, my personal view already, why use my money when I can use yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they're probably going to use that. They're probably going to try and just pay that off really early. And one of the ways you can pay it off is to do a raise. You can do an APO or you can do a rights issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking at it and I'm saying these guys may very well be looking to do a raise very quickly after the list.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the numbers made me think.
Especially because it's not far fetched for the way Cornerstone moves.
Not at all. That has been their MO. That has been their consistent MO across the board.
Not even like a public race. There could be something worked out between the two of them.
Yeah. Well,
I expect the public to touch it because of the way Cornerstone, the way the money going move works better if the public is involved. In my way, I'm thinking about it.
Well, at the end of the day, you always want somebody to pay for it, right?
It's exactly that. I didn't want to say it like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't.
Yeah, but you know how you say it, and then people, if you don't explain it fully, then people kind of have a bad idea of it.
Oh, but it's just the truth.
It's just the truth, definitely.
Yeah,
you want to participate, then
that's the price of it. Yeah, that's the price that you'll pay off this loan for me,
and
I'll get a piece of the company in return. That's literally what it is.
How
they choose to do it is up to them. 200 million, I'd figure that they could do that through an APO, not an APO, through a rights issue, right? But then that ties current shareholders in. Or you could do both. Who knows? It's either way you cut it. I think it's a great
pie.
Yeah. So that's something new. I don't want to carry too long. Tell me, give me a wild company. Give me a dark horse for the upcoming earnings season that we have. The actual earnings season coming up. Toki, wow. You think they're getting relisted?
Yeah, boy, I have not much to say about that company because I didn't even know they were being listed. So
yeah, but
there's some really odd going on around that side. But
the weed market in the US has been heating up though. Yeah, and the people who are in the weed market properly stand to and have managed to last long, good, bad, or ugly, are standing to gain. And I think the big guys have been amassing themselves. Canopy, I think it's Canopy.
Yeah.
Canopy Growth has been really amassing a lot of holdings. Yeah.
Which is it's a good connect with them being listed, because they're listed, then it's an easy acquisition versus a private. They'll probably have to work out basically. So if they're listed, then it becomes more attractive to some people. But no, they're not listed. So what's going on? So maybe that can be a good point for them to be relisted.
Who knows? For them, but I mean, I don't know if they care. Why did they list in the first place?
Exactly that. So yeah. That's what I wonder. Well, it never seemed like there was much effort behind our listing. No big talking, nothing. Just drop on the market one day and then drop off the next.
After saying that they don't have the results put in, which if you check their website, you could see the results on it. It says that the results were created, so somebody didn't hit.
You don't care what's up.
Yeah, maybe somebody never hit send, or well, I don't know. Oh well. JMB.
Oh yes.
Ooh, big money. Big money popping.
Ready again.
Yeah, they were about to eat that Sagicor food.
Well, interestingly, you saw the report that Sagicor put out that didn't get into JMB's report. The
first one or the latest?
The latest one. So they basically said, hey, we're unaudited quarter, Sagicor is an audited quarter. I think that was it. So basically the report wasn't ready yet. So basically they didn't have a share of profit on associate line for the Sagicor numbers. So but the statutory numbers came out afterward. Let me see if I can find them.
But they had something else added to that, right? Because they did say that they're going to
X1.
Well, I mean, they have to tell you when they're going to do it, when they're going to actually benefit from it. Like, sorry, when they're going to actually record it, because you can't just say, oh, it never come out, so we don't record it. You have to make allowances for it later on.
If even just in the audit, because the audit cannot miss the year. So, but
that's true.
If
that's
even
true.
there.
Yeah.
So they can put out a quarter report, and then there's no real adjustment for it there. But then the audit cannot miss it.
True. Currently, though, I mean, undervalued is an understatement, I would say. Yeah.
And everything is working out for it's spinning around now. So you see the whole dividend thing free up now from the central bank. So now they're more and more in the runnings of looking undervalued. Some can go on for the shareholders.
Finally. Hopefully. Right, and they are bringing in US dollar dividends. That's such a nice thing. Bringing in for themselves. US dollar dividends. And reorganize.
That's one of the only places where I'll say that's almost a buzzword. Oh, they're bringing US dollar dividends. They pay US dollar dividends. Like most times they don't actually matter. Like I guess I convert that.
Exactly.
Many people don't have a real use for getting it in US versus Jamaica because the same amount of money you're getting. That's a conversion.
True. But I mean, I don't think that they're not paying US dollar dividends. Let's be clear.
No, yeah, man. As I say, it matters to them to get US dollar dividends more than it matters to the general public shareholder to get that thing there, to get a US dollar dividend. So like when you tell me Cygnus USD pays US dollar dividends, I'll never care. I'm sorry. Yeah. But unless I'm up there certain ways and it actually matters to my life, but currently no. And I can't see it mattering for quite a while. But so for JMB, a bank, and they have US capital needs and all that, it works better for them than for me.
And they're receiving, right? Them receiving dividends is a bigger deal.
Yeah, you said what I said in concise.
Yeah, it especially now with the rate flying. What the rate? I think the rate is over 150 today, 150 to 1.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. I don't even if that matters. I'm just saying that. Yeah.
It's actually 149. I get thinking there, but that's still in screaming mode, so still in screaming range.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's somebody quoting us on Twitter complaining.
Who cares? They're reorganizing themselves also. All the banking groups, all the financial groups seem to be reorganizing themselves. NCB doing the most obvious stuff. It's so like if you're a long-term investor, just
you get a re-signal.
Like all the time, again and again and again. There's that. It's so obvious. I think the latest thing they have now is a news story about they've changed the split the bank, just how the bank is run in terms of our corporate versus retail banking. Yeah, two new heads of it. See if I can.
So basically, different approaches and focuses, not just a one-eye thing.
Yeah, and to me, it says that with splitting the business like that, you don't have two dedicated people who can handle those two very, very, very different things, right? So corporate and commercial split from retail banking, because what people need generally is completely different from what anybody else might do.
Yeah, completely fine. Yeah. The public versus. You get me.
Yeah. And I wonder about that. One of the things I wonder about that heavily is really and truly, NCB, the bank, does actually make a lot of money. So a lot of times it makes a loss, right? So putting it on its own now might make that loss very, very, very clear. I don't know they're going to split out the report, but
I don't think that I don't think there's a thing there.
It's already clear. No, but
in the
already. Yeah, but they already reported that way. As in, if you check the split of how the money goes, you see that the bank itself doesn't make a lot of money. And I think you know, this
I don't think there's going to be a split in terms of corporate versus retail inside the reports. If not just like I mentioned, but I'm not going to see a full breakdown.
But they already do.
A full breakdown between corporate in NCBFG. Yeah, man. So they split out the bank, but the bank itself won't split out the different sides of the bank. That's what I'm saying. Honestly, we weren't saying that at all, and I'm just running on a point.
That's actually a good point. If this was a live or more time, I would dig some more into that, and because there's something there. But I won't for now, because again, remember, NCBFG isn't just Jamaica, right? Jamaica is major things. It's not just Jamaica, and retail banking, even for NCBFG, is not just Jamaica, because they own quite a few.
But the thing with this is a good signal with all of what NCB is doing around corporate banking and a whole. Think about the fact that their NCB CM Capital Markets is doing so much right now, doing much more than when I just went marketing. Capital Markets wasn't doing a lot of deals, a lot of deals with the public. So no, there are. You can see a lot more coming onto them. So I can see a heavy corporate banking push, which is good for Jamaica private sector, which has been underserved. Blah 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 buzzword.
Yeah. Yo, I think this is a sign for something else, like, just like with the Trinidad thing, where you know you're going to be under pressure, you switch one to the other. Same way, I think this is going to be, this might be a sign that retail banking in Jamaica is about to get a whole lot more competition, and they might know.
Oh yes.
You prepare.
I didn't know you were going that way.
No, but that's what it can look like. If you know you're going into something, you prepare, right? Yes. Yeah, you prepare.
Not just retail, because from the angle of the people that we're seeing on that side, it's not just retail, because they're doing corporate too, and they're heavy set for corporate. If they're coming from that angle, yeah.
Yeah, so if I go into the war, we need to be clear on who is who and what is what and what we're doing and how we approach it. Yeah, man, I don't want to hear say a bleed from the big guys is causing this. No, concentrate completely on this. The small
interesting point too. I might ruin the secrecy of the point by mentioning, but think about who is talking about alternate investments in Jamaica right now.
All the houses, but being led all the houses, but buzzword.
Who talking about? Who talking about and saying them doing something more than just we're looking at, yeah?
No, I'm telling you, so all the houses. But it means it's a buzzword, and you know we're going this industry. I mean, NCB is doing it, and whoever is new and exciting. So it's NCB and Barita, literally, literally. Yeah. And so if you know you're going up against a new riser, because Barita hungry or fret. So if you know, yeah, not yet, right? And on the flip side, NCB not joking either, because what I'm about to do with Guardian is no joke.
Not like that. Oh.
No joke. Yo, just the fact to them defer the dividend, even though they know they can. Oh my God! Just the fact that them defer the dividend. Yeah.
Even though we're not gonna talk about this meeting still.
Yeah, man. It's like you're fat, and you start work out and manage your diet, and then you slim down.
Emerging COVID box and donut.
Yeah, but no, hold on, you slim down and you're no longer pre-diabetic and you're better off, and them say, yo, you can go back and eat a big food if you want. You're like, no. Suddenly you're like, wait, what am I dealing with? Suddenly you find something new. There must be some reason why he won't go and eat all this food like he usually would. Suddenly you find something working out that is worth more to him than all this food. And taking that analogy and putting it on NCD. If they couldn't pay a dividend before, they could, but they agreed not to. And now they get the free up and they still agree not to. It could mean that them privately agree that, hey, you guys are the biggest. If you pay a dividend, it hits us the hardest. So you don't do it. But I don't think it's that happening. I think
because then they'll be no reason for the full free up. It's funny that for years now, I don't know, I feel like Sadiq has been, it has not been interesting more than stuff for me. whenever like in the face of innovation, I always find Sajiko at the back. Or just not being loud in certain ways, or not being doing it in a way that's meaningful to me to say, boy, I can buy this company. Think of all that's going on right now, and Sajiko just coming with that thing there, the online system for IPOs.
Their version of Go IPO.
The version of Go IPO. And no, but you're not really hearing that the online banking thing. They do have online banking. They're not online banking. What do you call it again?
Equity or acting as an investment bank?
No man, even got them slow and more as this. But I think their focus is completely different. If you think of how they move differently from everybody else, they're still like even with their investment side, also their selling is done in the way that they do the insurance selling. So I guess
well, you know what I see. They look to me like an insurance company that went into banking versus a banking company that went into insurance.
Yeah, right. Yes, and even in the mindset and the movement with certain things, there, right? So it does make sense what of a bank and an investment arm.
And you see, the top of the stream affects the whole of the stream. So the insurance business is heavily risk-based, heavily risk-averse. Everything is built around the risk. Not that all good business is like that, but for them, it's a very real thing. They're going to banking, they kind of act the same way. While the truth is in investment banking, and also especially in the alternative investment side of things, you have to be able to identify a real risk.
Risk up front and say,
yeah, a real risk and ride that risk up front. So it's not a light thing. So you see the difference between them, Sagicor, and anything else. And then of course it looked like they were I could be wrong, but it looked like they were having a it helps leadership. Single leadership really helps, right? NCB Financial Group run by the one man.
It's good exactly team. That. You're right. Yes.
Yeah, no, they have shared costs. Yeah, really and truly, you can go check JMB if you want to know. You want to know what happened. And the truth is, you forget the idea of what's going on in JMB. You kind of have to hear a little bit of talk from single biggest shareholder of JMB. Proven.
Yes.
Proven, yeah. Who has him as an associate. And if you kind of want to have an idea what's happening in Proven, I think the single or one of the biggest shareholders in Proven is actually Barita. They keep coming back around in that wheel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny how NCB was a part of that circle, and they kind of like when they had JMB.
They graduated, they went to a new level. That's what it is.
Like, you're leaving and say, meet me at the top.
So
when they get there.
Yeah, it's like, yo, we used to quarrel about these little things and try and exchange it. Yo, here, you take it. You can't afford it. I'll lend you the money to buy it from. Here, take it. Yeah, man. No, I'm doing bigger things now. Much bigger. Matter of fact, anytime you need a little money, link me. All right, I'll lend it to you. Yeah.
That's what think about where the investment arms of both of those companies are right now. In terms of just the local equity space, NCB pushing way more heavier than JMB. When JMB IPO was what? Alliance? What else?
Yeah.
When I just came, I thought I saw JMB as a bigger IPO house than NCB capital markets, and right now that's completely switch on the head. Different things.
That's what the giants are, you know. The giants. That's that's all the giants are. The giants take long to get going, but when they get going, very few people can beat them.
Yep.
It just take a couple of years to do it. I think 2 or 3 years ago, NCB said that they wanted to take a bigger share of the mortgage market. Wait 2 more years and look at the mortgage market, and then look at NCB. All right. And what we should worry about is that they said this year, 2021 or late 2020, that their plan for growth, I think over the next 10, is card services.
We've seen a lot, more and more.
Look when these guys freed up capital for small businesses and manufacturing and so on in Jamaica, the economy boomed. They're about to free, and they're freeing up now because they have already done it. Yeah. If you check it, you find I want to give a shout out to this thing. I can't remember the exact name of it, but like if they have figure out, they literally are putting services out there already to help people get into card services in a great way in the region, not even locally, in the region. So look what's going to happen to the region in the next 10 years, again, on the back of NCT.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it used to be that the most exciting thing. Yeah, the most exciting thing for NCB for me used to be that, you know, they'll get big enough or good enough to list on the NASDAQ. No, I don't give a damn.
It's funny because that I'm sure people still people waiting on that. I'm sure people still people talking about
undoubtedly.
Biggest thing to happen. Like, bro, come on.
No, I don't give a damn if they list on the NASDAQ. I mean, it'll be nice when they do.
Nice, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if they choose not to, yeah, I like the JSC. I like the JSC. It's that simple. Yeah, but you mentioned the recently. I don't know if them did. You know, we said they might never come back. Alliance. You think they'll ever come back?
Yeah. I used to believe them that they will. No, I'm more hopeful than anything. But hope it's not a strategy, right?
Yeah, I hope it's not a strategy at all. So you know that goes.
Will they come back? If my belief on whether or not they will come back is based on more news. I have to hear something going on because I still don't know why they're gone.
That's true. That's true. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Since we have people here, I don't want to leave the people out. We've been doing this for a little over an hour now, so I'll ask if anybody have any questions. You guys have any questions you guys want to ask?
Steven just said, but SJ did select F and select M. Have we given them credit for that?
No.
Well, listen, their companies.
No, they made it up themselves.
They made an index.
No, that's not a bad thing, you know, don't get me wrong. That's not a bad thing.
I'm not going to be excited for them about that, sorry.
Yeah, that's nothing to be excited. I'm excited that they thought to do it, but the mind that came up with, the mind that has come up with, yo, let me create an index and fund it using other people, or let me create an index and fund it using other people and allow it to maybe liquidate some of my unit trust holdings, or push some money to my unit trust.
If unit trust was already that's private.
True. Exactly true. But this you see, that's why you always need other people money at the end to kind of pull it back. Yeah. And another thing I hit Sagicor over the years, as you mentioned, I think about it. Another thing I hit Sagicor over the years is them X Fund. X Fund beat them bad.
Beat them bad.
You remember when we just started off?
It's funny because they're moving it out of our faces, the Jamaicans, but it's still very much at the top through JMB.
Yeah, still hitting SFC.
SFC, which is
but SFC might find a way to manage it. I mean, I trust that they know what they're doing. But
it's much less a thing for SFC than Sagicor JA and X Fund. So the impact from that, the impact on them is very different from the impact to SFC. So
yeah,
that's questions.
Yeah. So questions. Anybody have a question in the chat? Throw one up now. Throw a question up, and we will see if we can answer it. I see Philip say Stratos.
Yes, that's another big deal, and not just one thing there. It's another big deal I mentioned earlier. I mentioned just now about the way they're working towards businesses, NCB. So that's corporate banking on one side, and it just feeds across the whole board. And Epley is part of that too.
Of course.
Pick up Epley every time, knowing where to, knowing the right place to always be. So
yeah, make
some money. And boy, Jano, it's funny because what Epley is going to do inside of thing there. Think of what Epley does. A lot of it is considered alternative investments. Insurance, premium financing, and all that.
Yeah,
it's just right with what NCB doing.
Exactly. And shout out to David Rose, who just pointed out that I don't know the rest of this, but he said that due to the absence of dividends, AIC Barbados has reduced its stake in NCBFG since March by blah blah blah, which is equivalent to the company's last $1 payment. So in other words, if this is correct,
there's something about this that due to the absence of dividends.
You're adding in a lot here. You're adding some color here, David. Unless you were
unless you actually got a quota or something like that. Yeah, but it's hard for me to put a reason. But looking at, because hard facts, AIC reduced their stake in NCB by amount equal to their company's last $1 payment.
Comparable to. David says it's in his article from today. David, we don't take the newspaper as a source, just like Wikipedia. It's not a source. So you writing it somewhere else don't mean that it's true. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but if you have a quote, then sure. Otherwise, no. But the main point, the bigger point is that it is true, and it looked like it could be true.
It looked like it looks like it. Especially because, again, I'm not going to pay a dividend this quarter. So get some money here.
Yeah, and it's linked to what you said earlier when we were talking about Carib Cement, right? Your owner, you make back your money by any means.
Yep.
The thing is, though, equities
they're not losing control on that one. All right.
Yeah, but
on 0.71%.
But 0.71% is hard to come by.
And if you think about that too, how much dividends would they get? Well, that's an interesting point. How much dividends would they get for that 0.71%?
It's in perpetuity, but here's the thing: once you've sold it, you've sold it. So it's hard to come by. So do you think they actually gave it up?
Oh, that's our next point. Yes, they have the ease of buyers.
Yeah, but once you, all right, if you sell me 0.71% of NCB, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna sell it back unless you're forcing me to sell it. I'm not selling it back. So, and you know that it's hard to get there. Moreover, the ownership percentage isn't huge like how it was years ago. So, is either sell it to somebody that you know, or you sell it to somebody that you know already,
or on a different name.
Or you say exactly sell it to yourself.
I won't say like that because you know
that's taken.
It's associated. It says this again. They have the ease of buyers. Financial houses have not only financial houses, but you find that like in financial houses and big companies, you look at the ownership, then you will see the pension fund, you will see the funds they own, and that type of thing. So it's not like me going on the market and say, boy, I was saying 2.5 billion on this stock. I have a $30 billion fund.
Right.
So who did they sell it to?
Yeah, that's a great question. Who did they sell it to?
They didn't call Randy and say, Randy, yo, we have 2.5 billion ago. Who did they sell it to?
I was hoping to leech in weeks. Oh wow! Well, yeah, yeah, but it's something real. It's something real. All right, here's another question. Somebody asks: when someone taking over Paramount Traders, majority shareholder, what's the potential there? Okay, no.
Why expect a takeover?
I don't know. Maybe they're just saying that the potential is there. I saw a glance at the numbers today. They just came on today. The usual stuff, shrinking profit. I don't know if it's wasted potential. If somebody could, if you think you have better potential, knock out Jenkins, just buy it from them. Make them an offer.
You don't offer, they can't refuse.
Yeah, get an offer they can't refuse, but lower than whatever you know you can pay for. Yeah. And if you don't have that kind of money to do it, then you know that you know how that go. David keep following up. Let me just finish up that point with David. David keeps saying that it's sold over a year ago. It's 0.71 is from March then to that. We're not saying no, David. The issue is not that they've sold it. The issue is
it's facts. It's with they sold it.
Yeah, it's saying why they sold it. I don't know why it was sold.
I don't know why they sold it. I can speculate. I can agree. I can say, boy, what you're saying makes sense. But look, it sounds like it makes sense. I don't know that that's the reason. Unless you spoke to Leach recently and got that quote.
Exactly. Yeah, I just hesitate to say that it was sold because you're not getting dividends. It's not for. I can't say that, and then I can't say that unless you have that link with Leaching. Pauline F said, in this farmer. Yes.
But it's funny because we got the news of the thing there of the COVAX facility, the delays of having India, and then India's on the back of that is announcing, hey, they're selling to us. BioPrist is getting a distribution deal we think there for the Caribbean from Covaxin. So they can push out the thing there, the vaccine at cost. Unlike, well, not unlike, but recently we have the thing, the free vaccination for things, but now it's like corporate is going into that field. They can sell vaccines to people, Biopriest set up a deal, them getting vaccines from thing there. India who just announced supply chain issues from their free vaccinations. So
supply chain issues, or did they implement supply chain issues?
They implement supply chain issues. There was no supply chain issue. They said, boy, you're what? All people not getting no vaccine, so we're pulling back on the vaccine, we're just giving away for free. So
of course.
No more free vaccine for now, but hey, I'm saying to this guy that this guy who's your friend, you can buy it from him.
Yeah.
And the idea is they're going for his Caribbean distribution.
Hold on, did India say that though? Or has India said that they're not letting any vaccines out of their borders until they feel they're at an okay level? I think that's what they said.
Yeah, they said yeah, that's exactly what they said. I was wondering if, for correctness. So I just want to rehear what you were saying in my head.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's what they said basically. We need more or people need more vaccines, so guess what? It's free thing that work right now. So
yeah,
they're not giving away vaccines. But again, I have the article here, I can share it at the same time.
Okay, and that's an article, and that's an article from Indies showing. Let me just show it to everybody here. It's an article from Indies just talking about what they're looking to do now. The Covaxin hub.
It's Biopriest, not Indies.
Exactly, and Biopriest is
Indies pairing, so I expect a good amount. So what can be sold through Indies will be sold through Indies. The rest, then they must write that out. But Indies is basically the way they distribute to Jamaica.
Nice. So the hope is that people should be very excited about that. I feel like the Indies guys care about the share price. Yeah. They certainly milk the company, but they run it like I mean, I would milk it to the kind of company it is. Yeah, so why not?
Yeah, it's a business built on top of my business, basically.
Exactly, and funding and helping,
which gives incentive for them to care about the share price.
Yeah, and their dividends, right? Which brings us right back to the Carib cement point, which is it really is true.
It's funny because all of these things are just small concepts, just with different context.
Exactly, it's the same, same principle. So you understand the principle, you see it start, you see the ability for it to be applied all over. Let me pick up one of the other questions. I don't really see a second question. I just see a lot of people talking about the Covaxin vaccine. If anybody have a question, you can throw it in the chat.
To buy this year, won't answer that. That sounds like a recommendation.
Yes.
You see IPOs bouncing back after shelf plans in 2020. Boy, it's the thing with this IPO thing, from ever since IPO has been shelved and bounced back. So don't expect IPOs to disappear now. Things that were coming out last year probably just either go through a rough time or COVID or just never ready yet. And then we get pushed back. So don't expect that IPOs to dry up. They will be coming, yes. I think so.
Yeah. And there's a limit to how long people can wait, you know.
Because they need money. So.
Exactly, yeah. Just so people don't misunderstand, we're not talking about us retail investors. These companies have things that they're doing. You can't shelve it forever, right?
It's the opportunity gone, then they can't need the money for it.
Exactly.
Or they find new money elsewhere.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think FESCO showed that the retail investor crowd is very much hungry still for IPO.
Very much. Okay, imagine what the allocation would look like without the 50 odd million that the broker reserve dropped off.
You know what? You think maybe they had just doubted how big the retail investor turnout would be, and so this was like an emergency amount, like if we don't get heavy subscription of X, we will just buy it ourselves without calling it underwriting.
You're right. Yeah. And that might be the case. Yes.
Yeah, and then like since they get it,
how flexible this type of thing is, and I like how flexible it is. but I don't like it from the aspect that we're in the business of explaining. So we very often give 10 answers to one question. So yes, so because of the way it can happen that way, it can happen this way. So that's very likely, because that's an easy, before that's easier to secure a thing there, to secure units and a thing there, the IPO. If I go to a broker and say, oh, IPO my company, abroad it's very common, much more common than here. It should have been spoken about by the public. Just how much units you can guarantee me off the table. How much of the money that in the coming IPO, you can say, boy, this will be subscribed, it's fine. You have to worry much less about raising, which is why underwriting is a big deal for people. Because if I went to say, boy, if I go sell this company in public, it's very real that you might not get the full take up. Then the more units I can guarantee, then the better.
And big up Philip Lopez, who said he said that in the Evermickle subscribers chat. Yeah, I do a subscribers chat for people who've done grow and advanced grower subscribers. And he's right. I shouldn't say he's right in that he said it. And as you heard Danai just said just now, Philip, we don't know. So it's still
it's not really wrong. Yeah. We just can't tell you if you're right or not.
Exactly. So it could be that. It could be a big person coming in. It could be a cornerstone wanting a stake that they never got through. It could be any myriad of things. It could be the company owners who their company think. There's any myriad of things. If there's a rights issue coming up later on, it could be somebody who decided they want to get in now before the rights issue because they're going to contribute to it and they're willing to pay twice. I'm paying for the shares now and I'm going to buy my
so it's big time the NCB is going to make a deal or something like that.
It could be.
Things.
It could be a dark horse. It could be all sorts of things. So we don't know for sure. But it is a good point to look into.
It's a great point to speculate on. Again, say this more than one time from forever since. The more you think about the different possible routes something can go, then when certain signs start showing themselves, they can get up and say, oh, that's that thing. And I can walk down that route much easier than everything catch you by surprise and not have to think about it at the point it's happening. If you fully thought of the point of play or whatever, way back when, then when you start looking and you see the signs, then you just run with it, right?
That's true. The Weekender asks, how do we think the current state of SFC is affecting JMB?
What is the current state of SFC?
Yeah, Weekender, you don't even have to guess. You can go check the books for SFC, and you can do the 22% and put it on JMB. Yeah.
Unless it means something beyond what the numbers are saying exactly.
That is true. There could be something.
If it means something other than that, just point us so we can speak on that.
Exactly. Minnesota says SVL and infrastructure. Yes.
Flames.
There's another question somebody has. I see Phil have a big question there. I don't know if you want to take that one. His question is, Phil always have these long questions. Key's auditors have stated that the steps to meet the MCT, the minimum capital test ratio requirement, has been achieved. Yo, Phil, it's almost like Phil getting into stocks, because Phil is such a boring question, my guy.
Key's auditors have stated. The thing is, why?
Well, what is the actual question? And they are likely to switch from a trailing 12 month.
So we agree or not?
Oh, and they're likely to switch from a trailing 12 month loss per share to an actual earnings per share and the PE in the 20s. Agreed? I don't know if I agree with that.
That's on the MCT?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd base that on the MCT, Phil. I mean, they only really failed the MCT once. Long ago.
They did what they needed to do.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. I'm very careful about how these things should be worded, how they're put together, and this is. I'm not going to base it on that. And definitely not your PE guess or whatever. I wouldn't do that. If I do a PE guess, I would do a PE guess on maybe Key. Key Insurance is an insurance company that I think I could do a nice PE guess on. PE Key, which is also a loss. Key Insurance being
I'm so scared to approach it, Phil, because you stated how you wanted it to be approached. You see? Phil, I try to box me into say what you want here. All right, Phil. They're gonna switch from a trailing 12-month loss to a profit and the PE in the 20s. Agreed. I don't know how to stay within the boxes like that, but I mean, they're profitable now. They've been profitable for what, 2 quarters? I think they've been profitable for 2 quarters now. Like on a quarter basis. Yeah.
2? Yes, I think 2.
I think it's the last 2.
I said 1 before that.
Yeah, well, it's the year. So for the 4th quarter, which is the last part of the year, we have them going. Look at that, December to December, 58.7 million versus 31 million, right? And the revenue, net premiums written and earned. I mean, it's 2 completely different stories here, right? But still on the year end, there's a loss. But you don't, well, I won't. You guys want to learn all this, you can come to my grow up class, right? everymikle.com/grow. But yeah, this has been showing certain signs over the last maybe 2 or 3 quarters from the mid buy. We've spoken about key on this show.
More signs with seeing the buy and then the injection from the rights issue. So looking better.
Yeah. In fact, look at this.
MCT look nice, right?
Yeah. look on this. In the 3rd quarter, just to prove the point. No, well, not proving the point, because again, we don't over speculating, just educated guesses. This 3rd quarter, they made a profit, earnings per share of about 2 cents per share, right? September 2020. Had they done the rights issue by then? They had. Rights issue is 2021. All right. So the rights issue is 2021. Then, okay, so Q3 they made a profit. Q4 they made a bigger profit. All right.
And then Q1 to fight against. Q1 was a profit. Q1 and Q2 to fight against now. So basically TTM.
Yeah.
Is a heavy profit. If they're going to be compared to a heavy profit in the next quarter, because Q1 had the super thing there, the thing we spoke about with the reinsurance. With the reinsurance contract that was changed, and then
Maybe they're comparing to a heavy loss. Yeah, but they're a profitable company now.
Yeah. So
operationally and yeah, not on a full year basis, but yeah.
So they also continue the good work and
well, they have continued because it's March, the 1st quarter ends, right? So they just haven't told us about it yet. So we're about to hear about it in what? 4 weeks. 4 weeks, right?
4 weeks, yeah.
Very interesting. And somebody, I'm sure people are, well, easiest thing, back of the envelope, if you look on the last quarter, was 5 cents per share. 5 cents per share, 2 cents per share, so 7. Put them at 3 cents per share EPS, and it's carried forward, and you're looking at what, 12 cents for the year in terms of EPS. And if you multiply that by a PE of 15, is that right? 12 cents per share, PE of 15. I did something wrong there.
Earnings times thing there. Earnings times PE, yeah, divided price.
So you got 1.8 if it's at 12, right? If it's at 20, meaning 5 per quarter is 3. But I suspect it might be higher because you'd have to pay attention to it and realize that they're also building out the business. They're going aggressively for new products, they've said. And GK bought
those investment income alone from new money raised that's just going to MCT.
Plus that property that they sold, investment property sold. And any expansion, if you remember the things said at that AGM, about the Eastern Caribbean, blah, blah, blah. I looked at that and I raised my eyebrows when I saw GK buying Scotia Insurance Eastern Caribbean also, right? I thought, where could I put those two things together within the Scotia group? The Scotia, sorry, within the GK group, the Grace group, yeah. Yeah, so that's something. I won't go too deep into GK. I'll take one more question maybe. This one from Steven. If you want to take this one, then do we feel that these new alternative investment arms being brought on will seriously affect Signal's short term? I mean, you mentioned NCB being, it's a two-part thing. I mean, and you mentioned NCB being giants, and when the giants step into the space, then problems for everybody else. So I suppose it's possible the pool may be big enough.
But yeah, that was the way I see the pool is big enough. If you look at Signals already, Signals just raised money. The money seemed to be done before they take it. So
the earmark the money before.
Yeah, so what competition? Like we can fight over us. And he said, come in, you go to my company and tell them give them a better deal. I think Signals will be fine in short term. They should be fine. And you have to understand, alternative investments is a thing. It's almost a buzzword. It's just we use it to talk about a lot of things at the same time. There's not really much focus. So alternative investment could be anything that's not stocks or bonds, basically.
Pretty much. AKA
it can't even look like stocks or bonds, and we just call it something else. It can even be stocks in a thing the company, a trading private company. We start calling private equity. That's alternative investments.
Yeah.
It's a very broad scope. We can do anything we want and invest it in any way we want because it's not traditional, basically. So it's not necessarily going off a Signals market. Signals calls themselves that private credit, but they're focused in one direction. Everybody's just talking about alternative investments. So it could be anything.
Yeah.
And if you understand that thing there, again, they're already in Signals market. Almost every broker, even just think of the big ones at least, they're doing private credit. If I give a loan to any private company, where you think the thing there, you think the big companies, the big companies in Jamaica, not necessarily the ones that are listed, you think they don't get loans from NCB? So yeah.
I'd say NCB is widening the pool, and NCB is widening the pool, and Signals is also in many ways widening the pool. But if you remember, Signals actually never call themselves alternative investments.
A recent thing
mezzanine financing is what they said they do. Yeah. So I don't wear that in the least about Signals.
All right, same. I think Signals is fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if anybody have any questions for us. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon, unless you want to talk a whole lot more than I.
No, not really, not particularly.
Yeah, me neither. So unless anybody, I'll one more question. If anybody can type fast. Stephen saying alternative investments will possibly play a bigger part going forward. Yeah, I really don't get into the naming of some of these things because it's not even non-traditional. The truth is, it's original investing. It's real investing. It's the
same thing, yeah.
Tip of the spear.
You see, if you give your brethren a grand and then pay back on it, that's alternative investments, bro.
That's true. That's true.
Some people have done alternative investments and not even know.
Yeah. If you lend your brethren money to buy a lotto or buy a cash pot every week, yeah. And at the end of the week when them get paid and pay you back all of that out and paycheck with one extra ticket money on top of it, that's alternative investment. If you tell me you do that for him every day because you realize he wins 20% of the time, but you say that, okay, you also have to give me 20% of anything you win during this time, that's also an alternative investment. Because you're now hedging part of your money against 20% of anything he wins, plus he still pays you back at the end of the week. Yeah. But that's maybe that's too.
This industry is a sales thing.
Which
Worldwide.
industry?
In investments. We repackage the same product over and over and over and tell you guys, hey, something different.
Yeah.
When we were telling you to buy unit trust, we thought I wasn't altering investment. when I tell you to buy a real estate selling to be a thing there, so even real estate that we already know as traditional is somehow under the alternative investment. We buy real estate via loans. We have equity in real estate. It's the same thing over and over. It's just repackaged, so you need to sell. Wait until the SPAC thing reaches our it's where people start screaming it.
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah, well, they renamed the equity funds, listed equity funds versus anything else, right?
Yeah, it's a company, right?
Yeah. Boy, I don't know. All right. Somebody said, where did I get the sweater? The orange bossy. You know it go? Popo.
Rally.
Rally. We can leave over from the campaign trail, you know? Philip Burgess asked if nobody has a jam tea question.
No, I don't have any jam tea questions.
I guess not. Nobody has any jam tea questions. Wow, Phil. That's an example of a company that can't wait forever. They must move at some point. And Stephen asked the last one for you tonight. When are you going to buy the Jeep or the Porsche?
Steve, I'll send you the price and we work out the rest. Good? We work out when you finance it. I'll just tell you the price.
Oh boy, yeah, that's the way you go. The Jeep, they're nice, you know. 10 mil now. Yo, 2020 show one thing, you know. One life. So buy the Jeep tonight. Buy the Jeep. If you buy one, you buy one.
It's a small thing. Easy. We read that talk there. Small thing for the Porsche.
There we go.
Easy buy. Big up.
Yep. All right, guys. With that said, I've got a call time one tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got your questions answered. I hope it was good enough. Check us out whenever you want at earningsseasonpodcast.com. You should see coming up now, earningsseasonpodcast.com. And for the people who already subscribed, thank you. Listen to episode 5-star it and whatever you listen to it. And if it's Apple, 5-star it twice and leave a review. It really helps. And look out, actually, we're going to drop an episode right after this, so you should enjoy it. You might like this one. And if you're listening to this long after we've done it, then check out episode 53. That's the one that we're referencing. So you might also like it, right? Or you might have watched it already if you're watching this one, if you're watching us on YouTube. With that said, thanks, guys. And yeah, night.
Yep. Earning season, bro.